We know, especially as Muslims, that marriage is honorable, it's respectful, it's noble, so much so it's considered half of your deen. And not only monogamy. Assalamu alaikum, peace. Coach Nazir, one of the co-founders of Outstanding Personal Relationships and co-author of Let's Talk Polygyny Uncensored. Well, I came across something, right? And it's really this mindset I want to talk about when it comes to husbands being inconsiderate or insensitive when choosing to marry again, all right? So that means the husband is currently married to somebody, practicing monogamy, and he chooses to marry again. Now, there was a question that was posted in our Facebook group. If you're not part of it, consider joining it. It's Let's Talk Polygyny. You can ask questions anonymously and so on. So basically, there was a question that was posted anonymously, and it said something along the lines, and I'm paraphrasing of, why would a man marry when his wife is pregnant? You know, she's going through these different emotions, and that's pretty inconsiderate, and he should wait until afterwards or at a different time, basically. So the sister was asking brothers to chime in. So, you know, a couple of brothers chimed in and said, you know, it is inconsiderate. Brothers shouldn't really do that. Others are like saying, listen, you know, a man has needs and everything as well. And I also chimed in too. Just from my experience with different individuals, I didn't do it. I didn't get married again while my wife was pregnant at all. However, there's some other things to consider. One, something being inconsiderate or appearing or choosing, or someone choosing to feel that something's inconsiderate or insensitive is really their choice. All right, because actually a young lady chimed in. She was like, I would have loved to have a sister wife while I was pregnant because she looked at it from a different lens. She said, you know, she could help with the other children. She could help me during my time, everything. We could be partners. Okay, so not everyone feels it's inconsiderate or insensitive to marry again, man or woman. Now, here's a challenge. When we put our feelings about us first and above all, then we take something because in that same question was the statement that said that there's no sunnah, and this is for Muslims who understand what sunnah is. A sunnah should not be oppressive. So basically, she was equating a brother marrying during her pregnancy to being insensitive, inconsiderate, which would equate to being oppression. And of course, Islam explicitly prohibits oppression, no matter what. Now, that would mean that marrying again while a woman is pregnant would be haram, a sin, all right, something that is prohibited. With that being said, something being inconsiderate or even insensitive, if that was actually the case, does not by itself make it haram or forbidden. That's very important to understand. We can't put our feelings above and start making rules about what is prohibited, what is not prohibited, especially in Islam. We can't do that, no matter how we feel about something. So with that being said, let me let you know a little bit about from the brother side. One is that we don't own anyone. Nobody is our property, even our children. We don't. All right. So my wives, yes, they are my wives, but I don't own them. I'm their husband. They don't own me. We all have our own agency. Now, here's the other part is we have power. So like I shared with you, the one sister thought that it was insensitive and inconsiderate and felt it was oppressive, all right, especially with the emotions and all the stuff that actually does go on during pregnancy. I agree to a certain extent. However, another one was like, I would have loved to have that, you know, to have a sister wife and everything else. The challenge is not when the husband chooses to marry someone else, whether or not someone is pregnant. It can actually be inconsiderate and insensitive depending upon how he goes about it. No disagreement there, but that doesn't make it prohibited. Okay? That must be understood. However, there's the flip side. Is the problem actually getting married during pregnancy? Because the other part goes here. Well, that's been used as a manipulation tactic by a lot of sisters. Well, I'm pregnant now. Why don't we just wait till after pregnancy? But guess what happens after pregnancy? Oh, well, we have a newborn. Just give him some time to get to know you and love it. And I need this support and help. Now we have a new baby. Well, you know, wait till he's done being weaned or she's being weaned and everything. And then we'll go. And then she's pregnant again. And that cycle continues for quite some time. So is the challenge or issue when getting married or just actually getting married and practicing polygyny? We find that many times the foundational issue is just a man marrying again, and there are unresolved emotions and challenges, things that go on there. So one of the most important things that we stress it all the time in our courses and what we do is that we have to have open and honest communication. We have to. We can't expect someone else to know what you're thinking, know what you feel is inconsiderate or disrespectful or anything. All right, so having that open communication is very important. Yes, there are emotional, hormonal changes that happen with women every single month, pregnant or not. All right, men have emotional issues and challenges also. All right, but I don't hear anybody saying, well, what about the man or what about my needs? Because we do have needs. We just don't express them as much as women tend to express theirs. We tend to go inward versus going outward, seeking social validation or speaking with a lot of other people in different circles. So as an example, many men can relate to if you have a baby, right? Well, your wife has a baby and she's breastfeeding and doing a thing and all that kind of stuff. We get the little jealousy kind of going on because we used to have access that we no longer have access to as much as we had access to with this little baby in the way. Now, the baby's a blessing, yes, indeed. But you know what? There's still some things that the man's hormones don't change like a woman's hormones change. Even her body changes. Now, there may be times where you might be out somewhere, a man is out somewhere, a woman's out somewhere, and you may be together and chilling or what have you, and guess what? Forgot the breast pump. So now there's engorgement and other stuff, and the man is like, yay, because guess what? That belongs to the baby right now. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I'm talking about some funny things, and I'm talking about engorgement and all that kind of stuff, right? But here's the facts. When it comes to marrying again, it doesn't have much to do with what they're lacking or if you're sick, anything. Now, he could marry someone else that might be a doula, might be a midwife, a CNA, a registered nurse, a doctor, somebody willing to help. So then the question is, are you willing to allow them to help, to make it easier for you? Because that crushes any type of assumptions that now this is inconsiderate. Or helping by actually helping him. So now, being pregnant, again, pregnant is not a sickness, it's not a disease, it's a wonderful thing. And thankfully, somebody got excited, two people, heterosexuals, quite some time ago, well, a few decades ago, if you're watching this video right here, they got pretty excited, and guess what? Boom, you're the result. I'm the result of that excitement. Okay, so it's absolutely a blessing, it's not a sickness. All right, so, but during that pregnancy, during that time, especially in the latter stages or late trimester, or depending on, you may have challenges in any of the trimesters. But you may not have the ability to be the same as when you're not pregnant to do different things for your husband. That in and of itself is lightening the load. Think about that. Now, when it comes to other emotional maturity, that's our responsibility. It's our responsibility as husbands to also be considerate of your wife's feelings, to make sure you're not just being inconsiderate or insensitive by saying, this is the way it's going to be, blah, blah, blah. There's a way to say it. There's a way to go about it. There's a way to do it. And we talk about that with best practices. But just simply engaging in the act of marrying again, which I'm telling you, we know, especially as Muslims, that marriage is honorable, it's respectful, it's noble, so much so it's considered half of your deen. And not only monogamy. So don't disrespect, don't downplay marriage or polygyny. You marry a second, a third, or a fourth time. Because every single one of those is so important to the nuclear family, to society, and everything else. But then it's like, oh, he choose to marry again like it's nothing, like marriage is not important. It is. But we have to understand as men that we have to deal with different emotions, so we have to have emotional maturity. But at the same time, our dear sisters, you also have to recognize that right now we're just talking about polygyny, marrying up to 4 wives. And if you're Muslim, I wonder what you would say back in the time where you could have unlimited, unrestricted concubines, where you're living in a state that continues to expand. Yeah, you can have 4 wives, but you can have unlimited number of concubines. All right, men are not like the women. We are different. We're built different. It's important to understand. But having open, honest communication is open for us all to engage in. So speak with your husband, speak with your wife. Get an understanding before you get pregnant or during, pregnancy, whatever it may be. All right, whatever your plans are, whatever you would like or what you would appreciate, have that understanding. Don't expect the other party to just know without you expressing it what you want or what you desire. So, again, to reiterate, just because a man chooses to get married while his wife is pregnant does not mean that he's insensitive or that's inconsiderate, and absolutely not that it's oppression. Not at all. No. See, if you have the ability to restrict and have a say-so, and when a man chooses to marry again, very few would ever marry again. So you don't have that authority to go ahead and put a stop and say this and shame somebody. No. You're not to reel that back in. Look at my perspective and say, you know what, why do I think I have that authority to do so and say so? Maybe that might be immature. And again, brothers, you got to handle it in the proper way. Is that the best thing for you? Personally, I wouldn't choose to do that while there's a pregnancy unless there was some extraordinary circumstances. But that's just me. That doesn't mean you can't. That doesn't mean it's not a good look. It just means that that's my choice. So don't jump on the shaming of men. Stop that, please. Because there can be an unlimited number of things that you may have a challenge with. Oh, well, it's married. Oh, the baby is here. Or I'm not feeling good. Or I'm overweight at this time. Or I don't like this. Any number of excuses you would use to try to manipulate and stop a man from getting married again. And the issue is not the circumstances that surround it. The issue is actually that you have a problem with him marrying again. So open up those doors of communication. Speak to each other. Find out what your core values are. And again, if you want coaching or counseling, reach out to my wives and I. Our information is right on our website. You can email us if you want those details or choose to invest in a course. All right, one of the best courses we have is the 5-day Successful Marriage Challenge, Queen's Edition as well as King's Edition. All right, get better. There's no limit on that, and there's nobody stopping you from growth except yourself. So choose better. Choose that GOC. So grow intentionally, love fearlessly, and connect on a higher level every single day. I'm signing out. It's Coach Nazir. I help people get their shit together. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.